Hello everyone. I want to share some accessibility features and tools that you can find in Google Docs as we continue to work from home and still supporting students in their learning. While these tools and accessibility features are really great for your students with disabilities, they actually can work and assist all of your students. So let's get started. You're going to go to a couple different places in order to find what you're looking for. This one is under Tools. What we want to talk about first is how you set up Read Aloud. With this, it doesn't show up right away unless you have already accepted the accessibility settings. So you click on Accessibility Settings under the Tools drop box, and then you click on Turn on Reading Screen Reader Support. And then you click OK. Once you've done that, you now have this accessibility tab ready to go. When you click on your accessibility tab, it'll tell you speak, where you can find things for comments to be spoken, footnotes, etc. Under speak, it also gives you right here the shortcuts to having those selections spoken without having to come in and use the drop box every time. Now, this only works if you have already set up your own screen reading in your computer or your other device. In order to do that, you actually are going to have to get that opened up first. And they actually provide in Google an accessibility page where they give you a description on how and what you can use to set up your screen reader. These are the four that they talk about, and when you do the Dropbox, it tells you what device you can use and how to get that open. For instance, when I went in to do the Google Docs, I am on a Mac, and so I had to go to VoiceOver, but it tells you exactly right here in the steps how to turn it on your computer, and then it works beautifully with your Google Docs. I will include the link for this particular page below. Going back to the handout that we're talking about, there are a couple of things that we need to think about with accessibility beyond just having it being able to be read to you. Another thing that you can do under Tools is actually to translate a document. This is a really great thing for your students who might be English learners. When you click on Translate Document, it's going to create a translated copy of your document, and all you do is click Choose a Language, and you scroll down to find the language you're looking for. There are so many options here for most languages. So we're going to click Spanish because that's the one that the majority of our English learners tend to be. And I'm going to click Translate. That's going to open up a brand new copy, and it's going to be completely translated into Spanish for my students who are English learners. Another thing that you can do in Google Docs or in any Word document is to do highlighting of words. Now, for some students, having them knowing how to highlight things so that they can see what they're reading is very helpful for them. It helps them to track their reading. So you could do a highlight of every other line in order to make sure that students are able to track their reading. So all you have to do is highlight what you wanted, highlight in here what you want, and then you click the highlighter color. Now, I recommend not using these top ones here because they're extremely bright and they can hurt your eyes, particularly when you're reading from a screen. So I would recommend using some of these underneath where they're a little bit more subtle, something like that. So I could do that here, and then I could do that same color again there so that the student can track, this is the line I've read, this is my next line, so on and so forth. You can do that, or you can also teach your students how to do that so they can know how to so they know how to assist themselves in tracking in their reading. Another way you can use highlighting colors is to really think about using it for color coding. when you want to group an idea for a student, being able to color code those groups will really assess students in being able to see visually what the groupings look like and to pull information that they're looking for. So that's just a whole nother way that you can use highlighting in your classroom. All right, I do believe that's everything that I wanted to particularly share with you about Google Docs in particular, and I hope that this is beneficial for you. And if you have questions about providing accessibility for students, particularly those with students with disabilities, feel free to email me a question. My email address is going to be right here. Have a great day. Bye.